Hello, my friend. This is Jovanka from JovankaCiares.com, and today we're going to talk about stress-induced stomach issues, especially diarrhea and constipation. Depending on what kind of human you might be the kind that when you are super stressed or have a lot of anxiety or even low-grade anxiety, you might get some stomach issues. Eventually, you might end up either eating emotionally or under eating or eating the kind of foods that you know are not necessarily great for you. And after a few days to a few weeks of that, and I know that we're in the middle of this, if you happen to be watching this in the middle of the COVID pandemic, then you know what I'm talking about. Even if you watch this in a few months, you realize that that was a really, really stressful time for the vast majority of humanity. So we need to we either overeat or undereat, and it's just a matter of figuring it out what we can do to reduce the stuff that we're doing to make sure that our stomachs are actually fully safe and protected. So if you're the kind that struggles with loose stools or with constipation, I have a few tips for you. And of course, as always, I'll have my beautiful herbal remedy ideas. So let's start with people that have loose stools. Perhaps you're the kind that either suffers from IBS or Crohn's disease, or are just simply eating nervously, perhaps eating too quickly, and the food gets not properly broken down and not digested. And when there's too much food that hasn't been properly chewed up and properly digested, it could potentially get pathogens past the gastric juices into your intestine, causing potentially diarrhea. Or you could just simply have diarrhea for a variety of reasons. If it's stress related, my biggest suggestions will include reducing the amount of caffeine or caffeinated drinks that you have for a few days, just to see how your body reacts when you just remove certain things that might be causing inflammation and disruption in the GI tract. I will definitely avoid alcohol and avoid especially oily stuff. Think about your body as a machine, like a car. When you have oily stuff or stuff that is too oily and you happen to be prone to stress-related diarrhea, you're causing all of these systems to be nice and oily, and it might cause the stools to become too liquidy and causing the diarrhea. I will definitely practice the 4-5-7 breathing technique that was popularized by Dr. Andrew Weil. It's as simple as breathing in for a count of 4, holding for a count of 5, breathing out for a count of 7. So breathing in 1, 2, 3, 4, obviously a little slower than this. Holding for a count of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then letting go for a count of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I will do that three times a day, and I will try to do it like 7 to 10 times. So 7 to 10 repetitions, 2 or 3 times a day, just to calm your mind and your soul in the middle of the day. Then when it comes to the foods that you can consume, I would definitely focus on probiotic-rich foods. So things like probiotics or kombucha or miso, for example. So if it's you need something warm, miso soup will be great. If you need something cool, kombucha will be perfect. Full of probiotics, kind of allowing that beneficial bacteria inside your gut to replenish, to get to do work for you and work well for you. And then when it comes to the botanicals, I will definitely take my ginger. As you know, I love it. And ginger is really great at reducing that kind of like pain and discomfort that is stuck when you have too much diarrhea and your stomach is rumbling and you're feeling not so great. Ginger will be great. So just ginger tea 2 or 3 times a day. And then I would have either blackberry or regular black tea. So the kind of black tea that you find in the supermarket. The tannins in black tea are a little bit dehydrating to our bodies, and it helps control diarrhea because it decreases the secretions of the fluids in the intestines. So that is for my friend out there that's struggling with diarrhea. If you're struggling with constipation, some of the tips are similar with the exclusion of the herbal remedies. So the first thing that I would ask you to do is to give yourself time in the bathroom by yourself. Hopefully you have the luxury to say to the members of your family, I am going to be in the bathroom for 10 minutes and you need to leave me alone. And if somebody needs to use the bathroom before you, just let them use the bathroom so that you can be the last person in and you get to have a little bit longer time in the bathroom. For people who struggle with diarrhea, you need that extra time. And this is not the time to be bashful or to be thinking that, oh, people know on the other side of that wall what I'm doing. So what? We all poop. And if we don't, we will be in a lot of trouble. So it is time for you to take care of you. Be a little selfish about that and just tell your friends and family, I'm going to be gone for a few minutes. And you can mock me all you want after that, but my body is important to me and I want to feel great. I would also try to use a stepping stool or either, a stack of books on either side of the toilet so that you can bring your knees, you can elevate your feet and bring your knees closer to your chest. It helps with fuller bowel movement. Workouts that cause your body to twist is also really great for the digestive system and to, get things moving, get things pushed down. And so yoga, anything that causes the lower body to move in one direction and the upper body to move in the other one is really great. This is actually really obvious. Drink a ton of water and avoid caffeinated drinks, just like the people with diarrhea, for 3 to 5 days, just to see if it makes a difference. And then the breathing technique that I mentioned a couple of minutes ago will definitely be important. Again, we're trying to reduce the amount of stress that we're struggling with, and breathing is cheap. It's actually free, and it is really, really powerful, believe it or not. And then when it comes to food, I will just keep it super simple. I will try papaya. Papaya is a fruit, it's a tropical fruit. I believe it's now in season or is about to get in season, but you can find it in almost all markets. Inexpensive. Cut it into pieces, have about 1 or 2 cups of papaya, sprinkle a little bit of lime on top of it or lemon juice. And it's just full of probiotics, full of enzymes that help you stay regular. And it doesn't have really heavy fiber, so it's not going to clog you up more. And then, of course, I've mentioned many a times about my magnesium citrate. I take as much as 500 milligrams of magnesium when I'm feeling pretty stuck and I need things to move. I take it at dinner time between 6 and 7 p.m. And throughout the day, I'm drinking a ton of water, up to a gallon. And then in the morning, you should be having a fuller bowel movement. And then when it comes to the botanicals, laxatives are actually the way to go. I like Cáscara Sagrada. And this is a blend that is not, it includes Cáscara Sagrada. It's actually by a friend, so I'm not even sure that it's actually available in stores right now. But if you type in Cáscara Sagrada or sacred bark, you take it at dinner time. Just start with only 1 pill. In my experience, it's one of the least aggressive laxatives. It doesn't cause your body to have memory and to get used to the laxative. I will stay away from all the other type of laxatives that you find in the pharmacy or even the herbal ones like senna leaf, because those are really harsh and they could cause a lot of cramping and discomfort. And if you are not used to them and you need to slowly get more comfortable with them, then I would definitely try Cáscara Sagrada or sacred bark. I'll put it here in the comments. Sacred bark or Cáscara Sagrada. And it's really, really effective. My suggestion, like any laxatives, any herbalist that's responsible will tell you need to use it probably no more than 4 or 5 days in a row. They're strong enough and they could dehydrate you. So the idea is for you to actually try it 1 day, maybe even skip a day and try it again and see if your body slowly start getting used to the idea of pooping without the need of the laxative, my suggestion is either do it every other day or do it for 3 days in a row, 4 days in a row, and then stop for 3 or 4 days. Do everything else that I'm mentioning here in hopes that you start having fuller bowel movements as time goes by. It is important for us to take care of ourselves. I know that we're all doing all the things, right? We're all doing binge eating and stress drinking, and we started hoarding all this food, and now we have we're stuck in our homes with a kitchen full of food, and what's there to do other than to go to the kitchen and find some more food? So take care of yourself. Now that this is the new normal, at least until in the United States and in other parts of the world, we ease the restrictions for the COVID pandemic. You don't have to worry too much about the food being, inaccessible. So slowly go back to your daily routine. Slowly go back to your things like your smoothies and your, healthy foods, at least one meal a day, even if you indulge the other times of the day. So, gracias, Jovanka. Thank you so much. Sorry, I can't read. Hi, how are you? Hello, everybody. So sweet. Thank you so much for being here. Make sure that you share this video with all of your friends. It is super important because I love to be able to share this information with as many people as possible. And just click that little surprise button. I'll be here again on Thursday with another video about how to stop emotional eating with the use of this very targeted meditation. So stay tuned. See you soon. Bye-bye.